Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are here to talk about a self-setting concealer by Makeup Forever. So if that is something you're interested in watching, you're in the right place. We're about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, so the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Self-Setting Concealer. I think it really did kind of boost all of our hopes pretty high with this one. I will just go ahead and tell you up front, it is going to crease. It just is. I learned that pretty quickly going into this formula. There are a couple of really unique things about this formula. First, before I put the cart before the horse, let's go ahead and just take a look at the component itself and the applicator and all that good stuff. So when you look at the component itself up close, it's got 6 mils of product. It retails for $28. It's a good amount of product. The applicator itself is a paddle applicator. It's a very good quality paddle applicator. I love the applicator itself. And I also love that you don't get like a huge amount of product out when you first take the applicator out of the component as well. So I do like the component design of the concealer itself. Now, I got shade number 30 from Makeup Forever, and I do love the shade. They have a huge shade range because it's Makeup Forever. It's not 50 like Fenty. I think it's like 22, but it is a very nice shade range because it's Makeup Forever. They typically do really good with their shade ranges. Now, if you are a fan of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, which is a very light, natural finish foundation, it is not a full coverage foundation. It's just a very pretty, natural kind of everyday foundation. That's what this concealer is. This pairs very, very beautifully with that foundation. This is a very natural finish foundation. Now, they do say that it's a medium finish and that it's buildable. I will agree with the buildable part. You can layer on and get a little bit of extra coverage, but you're not really going to get anything above a natural finish. I like something a little more full coverage just because my under eye area is a little more severe when it comes to dark circles. But if your under eye dark circle area isn't a very severe hyperpigmented area, then this might be a really beautiful concealer for you. This is going to be a beautiful everyday type of concealer. Now, the one thing that is unique about this formula that I really did like is that it does have this kind of light capturing and then it diffuses light property to it. So it does give you this wide awake, fresh kind of brightening effect underneath the eye. That I do like. The one downside to that, it's that this is not necessarily one that you want to use anywhere other than under your eyes. But under the eyes, it does give a really pretty natural finish. I'll show you guys some application here. Now, again, my Makeup Forever says that the best thing to do is just to apply the concealer under the eye, and you can use the tip of the applicator, or you can use your finger, or you can use a brush or a sponge to blend it in to the surrounding skin. Again, this is going to be a very natural finish concealer. They describe this as a very natural finish creamy concealer with medium buildable coverage for a second skin satin feel. They do say that it is a self-setting formula and that it's going to provide you 12 hours of crease-free wear. Now, when it comes to the 12 hours of crease-free wear, so obviously the first thing I did was wear it all day long and see if it creased. And it creased. But that's, again, because I have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles underneath my eyes, and underneath my eyes is a very mobile part of my face. And if your face moves and there's product on it, the product is just going to get into those fine lines. I think it's just part of it if you don't set it. Because this is a very satin, creamy type of natural finish concealer. It doesn't really set down like a matte concealer would set underneath the eyes. Now it does set down and it does dry, so that when you rub your finger underneath your eye, it does feel dry. But at the end of the day, it hasn't been set with a powder, so it's going to have a little bit of movement to it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it is a very second skin feeling type of formula. So when you get those little lines underneath the eyes, because you haven't set it with powder, it's very easy to fix throughout the course of the day. What I like about this is that you can just carry the bottle with you, and you can even just put a little teeny tiny dot on the tip of your finger and then just pat out your crease underneath your eye, and it's like you've reapplied your concealer, and you can go on through the rest of your day. Even if you don't have this with you, you can still just pat it out and get rid of the crease underneath the eye because you haven't set it with powder. It performs like a very natural finish, kind of light coverage concealer. This is pretty, for me, is something that I will use on days where I don't put foundation on and I just want to brighten up my under eyes really quickly and maybe put on a little powder and mascara and run out the door. That's what I would use this for. If I was getting ready to film or getting ready to go out to dinner or going somewhere else, I'm going to reach for another concealer because I want something that's going to take care of my dark circles and, you know, really hide and deal with some hyperpigmentation issues. So this is just not the concealer for me. But if you are looking for a formula that's not drying, a formula that is a very natural finish and that you can wear throughout the course of the day, I will say this, there are concealers out there that really crease like bad underneath the eye because the formula is so heavy, it weights down into those fine lines. So within like 2 seconds, you have all these lines. This formula is not like that. The creasing that took place was very minimal, and that's because it is such a natural finish concealer and it is such a lightweight concealer that it's not like driving itself towards your wrinkles like some concealers do. So of all the concealers that I've used, I can say this one probably creased the least of a lot of the concealers that I have. So it's going to take a magic bullet to come up with a crease-proof formula. I don't think it exists, but this is about as close as you're going to be able to get. For me, personally, I just wish it had a little more pigment to it. But I get the whole natural finish, second skin, kind of satin finish look, and I get that a lot of people really, really like that. It's just not my preference. But it's a great formula, as always. Anything from Makeup Forever, I think, is a great formula because they do put a lot of thought and effort, and they do have some really cool innovative technology like the light diffusing technology that's included in this that really does give you kind of a little bit of a brightened look underneath the eye. I do think it's a pretty concealer. I'll definitely Erika approve it for my natural girls out there that just want a little lift underneath the eyes during the day. Overall, it just doesn't have enough coverage for me for it to be like one of my favorite kind of go-to products. So I was a little disappointed personally by this concealer, but it might end up being your favorite. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know if you guys have tried this, if you intend on getting your hands on it. Let me know what you guys think about this particular product. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those products that you either love it or you hate it. Yeah, it's probably going to be one of those. I will say I could definitely understand why there will be people out there that are die-hard lovers of this formula because it is very crease resistant. It does have that brightening underneath the eye, you know, capability. Even though it's not the most full coverage concealer out there on the market, it is a very beautiful formula. So I could definitely see why a lot of people would gravitate to this particular product. But it is a beautiful product. I think there was a lot of thought put into it, and I think they did a good job. So definitely Erika approved. I think it's absolutely worth the money. I think it's really pretty. I just wish it was a little more full coverage. All right, guys, if you are new here, welcome. Feel free to hit the subscribe button and become a member of the Approved crew. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at ErikaApproved. And as always, I hope all of you guys are very happy and very healthy. And I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah.